Alright, so here it is, like almost 5 o'clock. I took a nap. Little man got picked up, and I'm about to start on this. And I have to say, I am not thrilled at all on doing this. Especially because the motor's only temporarily, but I need that thing to not smoke because of valve stem seals. And I want to put those upgraded cams in there. But I don't know. For some reason, I'm not going to enjoy this. So first thing I'm going to do, I got to jack the car up. I need to get this header unbolted here and underneath where it slides in to the four pipes. I need to unbolt it there and slide it off, and that way I don't have to crawl underneath the middle and unbolt the flange where the gasket is, the triangular flange. Because if you remember, I welded that test pipe on there. So that's where I'm at. About to get started. And yeah, I don't know. Just not feeling it. You guys don't know my day job. I'm a mechanic. I work on heavy equipment and semis. And this shit just, I don't know, it just burns me out. For real. But I need to get this done because Import Alliance is coming up in October down in Kentucky at a racetrack. This thing's got to be top notch to be cruising down there. All right, so we're making it on a downhill slope. Just got a few more things. I got to disconnect off the intake, and I'm leaving the intake on so I don't have to mess with the gasket. Got the timing belt loose already. So I'm about to get the timing belt off, to get the cam and all that stuff off, get the distributor off, and I'm going to jump down and get the header off and finish draining the coolant out of it. And the head's almost ready to come off. And it's time to get working on getting the valve stem seals in and the exhaust valve spring swapped over to a dual valve spring, like I showed you guys in the one video. I'm going to be using intake side valve springs on the exhaust side. This intake side on the B16s, well, the A2, if it's true B16A, it should have dual springs on your exhaust side as well as your intake. Intake has them because your intake can is the one with the bigger lift. So that's where I'm at. About to get crack-a-lacking back on it. Alright, I got the cams out. Now, I need to disconnect a couple more little things. Get ready to break the head loose. Gotta get the coolant lines off. And, yeah, I'm trying to identify which cams I'm going to throw in here. So I got to figure that out real quick. And, yeah, this thing's almost ready to come off. Start getting work done to it. I wish it could be done tonight. I'm going to miss ripping it, but that is just what it is. Got the manifold pulled back. Luckily, I didn't have to unbolt anything underneath. It slid forward on its own, so that's good. Just wait for the coolant to finish draining out. I can undo the back lines and start unloosening the head bolts and get this thing off. Alright, I got the head off. Now it's time to get this thing up on the bench and get it cleaned up. Get ready to start swapping out valve stem seals and beefing up the exhaust side on the springs. So, not bad. Probably, I haven't been going fast, been taking breaks here and there, and probably about an hour and a half in. Alright, got the top of the block cleaned up. Then move over here to the head. I have all the valve springs undone. And I got number one. I got one of the valve stem seals out. And, yeah. I have to say, man, these little boogers are pretty tough. Now, if you look inside, I don't know if you can see that. Try to get some light in there. You see how it's wet on top of the valve spring? Well, not the valve spring, but it's wet on top on the valves. And you can see definitely number 3 was leaking. There's residue on top. So So we had some leaky valve stem seals. I'm just curious to see, well, I won't be able to see the intake side because I still have the intake on. That way I don't have to replace the gasket, but I'm going to finish getting this valve seal out and get the new ones in so I could do them, boom, boom, done, then jump to this, boom, boom, done. And the exhaust valve springs are a little stiffer, so I'll be using the exhaust valve spring and using a secondary spring, a smaller spring. So we're adding a spring. All right, if you guys are replacing your valve stem seals in a B-Series VTEC and you want Skunk 2 genuine parts, that is the part number. Now, I know on some you got to look at, because they'll be different from intake side and exhaust side. This, I don't think it matters. So I'm going to look, see if there's anything different about them, and double check before I go putting it in. I got the other one out. I have to say, man, these suck. But it needs to be done, and we're doing it. All right, guys, I got two of, there you go, some light Skunk 2 valve stem seals in, what I'm using a 10mm socket with an extension. Put down in there, and you push it down. And what I like to do, after I get it pushed down, I'll give it a light tap with a hammer. So you don't want to overkill on tapping them down. You just inflict damage on new seals, and you don't want to tear, the top of them. So I got that on. Now I'm gonna get this upgraded spring I'm putting in. Well, add a spring. I want to get that in and get this #1 exhaust side done. I'm gonna jump over and continue on. Hopefully you guys like the video. In. Make sure when you put your valves back in to put a little bit of oil on them so they slide up inside the rubber a little easier. Next is the spring, retainer, and the keeper. Alright guys, so I got one in. I'll tell you what, my patience is running out because I'm tired, just ready to chill and relax. It's been a long weekend. Got to get this one in, and I'll tell you, if you don't cuss a few times trying to get these keepers in, you're doing good. But definitely can't wait to see what it does, and hopefully this resolves the issue of the burning the oil. I do know some of the valve stem seals were leaking. You can see it running down the valve, and it was wet, on the top, wasn't wet on the bottom. So I hope this cures the burning oil and a little bit of smoke out the exhaust, but we'll see. I'll get this thing done, hopefully, if not tomorrow, sometime during the week, and we'll send it. Curious to see how it's going to rip. So if you guys like the video, be sure to hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and be sure to hit that share button. Thanks for watching.